All right, so you've built your budget. It looks perfect, it's all planned out, and every single dollar has a job. But what happens when life, doesn't stick to the plan? Today, we're going to talk about how to turn that fragile document into a real financial fortress, one that can actually handle the real world. So how do we build a budget that bends but doesn't break? Let's dive in.
Yeah, you've got it all mapped out. Your income, your expenses, your savings, it all looks absolutely flawless on that spreadsheet. But let's be real, life rarely, if ever, sticks to the spreadsheet, right? And that's the central problem every budget has to face, and it's exactly what we're going to tackle today.
Every great plan starts with a first draft. And when it comes to budgeting, that first draft is this moment of just pure optimism. It's our best guess about what the future holds, but it's also where our plan is at its most vulnerable.
And let's be super clear about something. Just getting to this point is a huge deal. Seriously, you've put in the hours, you've tracked your spending, you've set your goals, and you've wrestled all of that messy information into a plan that makes sense. You should be really proud of that.
In this timeline, man, it just goes to show how much work we're talking about here. From laying that foundation in week 1 all the way to meticulously tracking expenses in week 2, it's a real journey. By the time you hit week 6 and have that first draft, you've created something truly comprehensive. But, and this is a big but, a comprehensive plan isn't always a resilient one. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. Because having a static plan is good, but having a resilient one is so much better. This is where we shift our thinking from just planning for the predictable to actually preparing for the unpredictable. All those life happens moments.
I absolutely love this quote because, come on, it is so true. A budget's real power isn't that it magically predicts the future. No way. Its real value is giving you a framework so you can react smartly when the future, inevitably, goes completely off script.
So how in the world do you prepare for the unexpected? Well, you practice. And that brings us to what I think is a brilliant exercise, designed to stress test your financial plan before life does it for you. It's called the Financial Curveball game.
So what exactly is a financial curveball? Well, think of it as that moment when your laptop suddenly dies right before finals week, or when you get a medical bill you totally weren't expecting. It's any surprise event that threatens to completely derail your carefully laid out plans. And for our scenario, we're going to look at one that is all too real for so many students.
So here's the scenario we're going to play with. You lose your work-study job halfway through the semester. Woof! This is such a powerful example. Because for a lot of students, that job isn't just for fun money, it's absolutely essential for covering things like books, supplies, and other basic living expenses. Losing it is a major shock to the system.
And right there, that's the critical question. Your tuition and housing might be covered by aid, but what about everything else? Your day-to-day spending, those necessary supplies. How in the world does your perfect budget handle this massive, sudden gap in your income?
So, how do you solve a problem this big? Well, look, it's really tough to do it alone. We all have our own financial blind spots, and that's exactly why the next step in this whole process is so incredibly important, getting a second opinion. This chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows the incredible power of a fresh perspective. We often can't see the little holes and assumptions in our own plans, but a peer, a friend, they can come in and shine a light on those blind spots. They can challenge our thinking and offer practical solutions we might have totally missed.
Sometimes the most game-changing feedback comes from the simplest questions. This one, right here, comes straight from the peer review exercise. It just forces you to stop and confront your priorities. Is your spending really aligned with your goals, or is it actually a hidden vulnerability in your financial plan?
Okay, so we've been hit by the curveball, we've gotten some honest feedback. Now what? Well, now it's time to put all of that together and forge that fragile first draft into something much stronger. A truly resilient plan.
So here it is, our before picture, budget version 1. And on the surface, it looks pretty solid, right? All the main categories are there. But look closer. What's that weakness? There is literally zero room for error. It's a house of cards. One unexpected gust of wind, and the whole thing comes tumbling down.
And this, right here, this is the key insight of the whole thing. You don't have to tear up your entire budget and start from scratch to make it stronger. Often, one small strategic adjustment can make all the difference in the world.
And there it is, the after picture. The change is so subtle, but it's incredibly powerful. We've added one new line item, an emergency/miscellaneous fund. This isn't just another expense category.
This is your financial safety net. This is the buffer that protects everything else in your budget when those curveballs come flying. And get this, the recommendation is to start with just $50 a month. Now I know it might not sound like a lot, but doing that consistently month after month, that's how you build a real financial defense over time. It's an achievable goal that has a massive, massive impact.
And that's really what this is all about. This fund isn't just another category to track. It's the shock absorber for your finances. It's what lets your budget bend without breaking when you inevitably hit one of life's financial potholes.
So let's end with this thought. Please, stop thinking of your budget as some rigid, strict set of rules that you're just doomed to fail. Instead, see it for what it truly is. It's your flexible, living, breathing game plan that's designed to help you navigate reality and win.